The debate on the 2024 State of the Nation address presented by President Akufo-Addo to Parliament has begun in earnest, and the recent power outages has taken center stage. Of course, not without controversy. In fact, Parliament itself got rocked by what has now been popularly known as doomsday. So let's start from the top. Abinosi Asare, the Deputy Finance Minister, was arguing on the economy and what she believed the government has really done in terms of changing the fortunes of the country. She again insists that if you look at the way things are going, she believes the president has offered hope to Ghanaians.
Mr. Speaker, as I listened to the president, I felt a great sense of pride. Mr. Speaker, his address showed that in a world fraught with challenges, Ghana continues to show resilience and advance in hope.
Abinosi Asare ended on the note of power, and this is where the lights went off in the house.
Government had to make a huge commitment to address the IPPs and to make sure that we sustain the lights and not go back to the doomsday days that we were saddled with right before 2017.
Well, the conversation on the power outages became a family affair on the floor. The two brothers on the different sides of the aisle, Samuel Abu Jinapor and John Jinapor, went at each other, criticizing the respective parties for the way they handle the power sector. Samuel Abu Jinapor says, whilst the recent power outages is inconveniencing, it is way better than what was experienced under the NDC.
For the past 3 weeks to 4 weeks, they've been shedding load on a daily basis. Yesterday alone, they shed 530 megawatts. This afternoon, exactly 12 o'clock, the lights went off. That is why people are stuck in the elevator. Yes. And you still have the temerity to tell us that the lights are on. Mr. Speaker, that cannot be the case. Mr. Speaker, for 4 years, the Honorable John Jinapor, Member of Parliament for Yape Kosogo, talks about lights going off yesterday and talks about lights going off this afternoon. Mr. Speaker, lights went off yesterday. That is correct. Lights went off this afternoon. That is correct. Ghanaians went through inconveniences yesterday. That is correct. They will go through inconveniences as a result of lights off this afternoon. Mr. Speaker, that is correct. But Mr. Speaker, Ghanaians certainly do not have a short memory. They do not have a short memory.
Well, the entirety of Parliament was, for a large part of today, disconnected from the national grid. Initially, it was the normal power outages, but at some point, Parliament had to put on its generators because the Electricity Company of Ghana had been on the premise of Parliament to disconnect the entire house because of the 23 million Ghana cedis debt it owes the power distributor. The Deputy Minority Leader, Emmanuel Amakofibua, who was in his office, then walked into the floor to complain about the unbearable heat in the Job 600 and how so many people were stuck in the elevators.
5th and 6th floor, we have people stuck in it. I just got the fire service to run in there. So it's important we know what is happening around us. The light is off, except for this chamber, and I don't want us to pretend.
Some people are stuck in the lift.
On the 5th and 6th floor. In fact, I just came in because we just got the fire service people to try to get them open the elevator. And it's very serious. And I think this house, before we continue doing business, we must know the crisis we face.
We understand Parliament is making some commitments to pay some part of the debt it owes ECG, but for now it will continue to run on the generators until they are able to reach some amicable settlement with the Electricity Company of Ghana. But back to the State of the Nation address, and I told you early on how Abinosi Asare, the Deputy Finance Minister, started on the note of the economy. The ranking member on Agric and Cocoa Affairs for the minority, Eric Opoku, tried to punch some holes into the arguments that were made by Abinosi Asare.
Every Ghanaian is feeling the heat. Now, the president appeared before this house to present the 2024 State of the Nation address, and he now describes the head of the economic management team as Dr. digitalization. He's no longer the brilliant economist. He's now transmogrified into another area, digitalization. Meanwhile, Dr. Bawumia, throughout his life, has been trained as an economist.
The State of the Nation Address debate is going to continue for the next few days in Parliament up until next week, when leadership on both sides of the aisles will conclude the debate and thank the President, Akufo-Addo, for the message he has delivered. Obviously, this has turned into a political footballing game where the political parties going at each other, citing their respective economic prowess. But especially with this year being an election year, both parties and the MPs on both sides of the aisle are seizing the opportunity to make it a real campaign issue. And it's going to continue till the leaders conclude the debate next week. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.